Hey Queens, how is everyone doing? I hope you're all doing well. My name is Ivy EKONG. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be discussing how you can reinvent yourself. Yes, it is possible to reinvent yourself no matter what age you are. So today I'm going to be giving you a step-by-step guide on how you can completely reinvent or transform yourself from where you are now to where you aspire to be. I'm a mom of three and I'm 41 years old. If I can do it, I know you too can do it. So let's just get into it. Um, if you have followed my journey, you would know how much growth that I have had over the past few years. And I would say growth because it has been like a 360 growth. Like I have, yes, just thinking about it, it's even makes me, teary, honestly, because I have really grown and I have really reinvented myself. And I had to take my power back. And I think as women, a lot of us don't do that. It's so easy to focus on so many other things that are happening around us and lose focus of us and lose focus of you. It's so easy to focus on everyone else. It's so easy to be here and there and there and there, and you lose focus on yourself. You lose focus on you and some of the things that you should be achieving and some of the things you should be doing for yourself. I'm sure I have a lot of moms here who follow me. As a mom and as a woman over the age of 40, I would say there is a lot of confidence that comes with being that age. There's a lot of confidence that comes with being a mother, just knowing that I can actually push out a baby. I can not just one, not two, but three. It gives you a confidence, that you would never think of having, to be honest with you. I would say that in my life now, I am more confident now at 41 years old than I was in my 30s and in my 20s. And that confidence has come from all the experiences that I've had, all the experiences, all the battles that I've had to fight, everything that I've had to go through has sort of shaped the amount of confidence that I have now for myself, and the way that I have decided to then reinvent myself around that. Let's start with me, okay? And I hope you guys stay with me to the end of this video, because you're going to learn a lot from it. But I just need to tell you guys a little bit about me and just give you a bit about my background so that you understand where I'm coming from. So I moved into the UK some years ago from being originally I'm from Nigeria, and back in Nigeria, I mean, I think I've always been the sort of person that just goes for what she wants. And I remember say, and I remember growing up, I said, oh, I want to be a model or a designer, or I want to be a makeup artist. It was always around the creative side. So I won a beauty pageant back home, and from my state where I'm from, which is Edo State, and did all my pet projects, and I reigned for a year, of course, before you hand over to the next, person that wins it. And around that time, I was really like a figure back home. Everyone knew who I was. I was in newspapers. Then there was no social media. Everything was either an Ovation magazine or all the soft sales magazines that they sell on the road, on the traffic in Nigeria. And I remember just before I came here, I was published in a book called The Who and Who in Edo State. And Little Me, as at then, I was little, was published among presidents, governors, senators, ministers, women in power, women. And when I someone bought the book and they said, Ivy, look at you there, and I look at me, I was there, and they wrote Miss Esa is one of the who and who in Edo State. Like, and no anybody that doesn't know this girl, like you probably live under a rock. So I left. What am I trying to say in essence? I left that situation where I was known, where I was literally a public figure. Met my husband around that time when I stopped being a beauty queen. I met my husband. We dated for 2 years. We got married, and then I had to move here because he was already living in the United Kingdom. So on getting here, I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, my life was literally empty, to be honest with you. And the moment I got here, I was pregnant. So I was like, oh God, like, what do I do? Who is going to hire a pregnant woman? I've never really worked before. Am I going to go and start looking for a job in an office? The jobs that I've done were modeling jobs, NGO, you know, I was helping children, women. I was with UNICEF, doing a lot of charitable work. And I did do my internship in the bank as well. But even while I was there, I was being told every day, Ivy, you don't have any business being here at all. You don't even fit in here at all. So getting into the UK, not knowing anyone, not having any friend, not and I was like, what do I do? How do I navigate this? And that period was a very, very tough period for me because I where I had to solely depend on my husband. It was very, very tough. It was very, very tough. So I could have sat there and just not do anything with myself, or do something with myself and be a better version of myself even than I was in Nigeria. So I had a baby. I was home. I wasn't doing anything. I was like a full-time stay-at-home mom. I had my first daughter, and when you a lot of moms here, they will tell you, once you have a child, once you have your first baby, you feel like the sort of energy and the sort of empowerment that you feel like you can do anything. You feel like you can even be the president of the world. Like, that is just how you just have that feeling like, wow, I was able to do this. I gave birth to this human being. Okay, then what else? I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. And I just started thinking, my mind just started going to different places. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I remember one day my husband said, I think you're bored of staying at home. You would want to do something, right? I said, yes, but I don't know what I want to do. I have like 1,000 things that I feel I can do. And he said, why don't you just do what you've been doing before? Just continue in that direction of what you've been doing because you were doing it so well. And I said, what, you mean modeling? I just had a baby. I can't model. My tummy is big. I'm added a lot of weight. I've lost that slim, modeling figure that I had. It was all gone with my first daughter. And I said, I cannot do that. I can't do anything around modeling. And then we were just sort of bouncing ideas off each other. And then I said, oh, for at least first of all, before I actually start doing something that will bring in the money for me, maybe I should sign up to an NGO and just start volunteering. And my husband said, oh, yeah, that's a good way to start. At least you make friends, you go out because you're just stuck inside. You don't go anywhere. It's just from the bedroom to the kitchen, back to the bedroom for over a year. So why don't you just do that? And I said, okay. So the next day I went, I was looking for charitable organizations I can join. And then I found an NGO that looks after children. So they're called the Young Carers organization. I don't know if they are still there. I'm sure they are. And this was years ago. And I called them. I said, I would like to volunteer with you guys because I was doing something similar back home in Nigeria. They called me in for an interview. I met the kids. Literally, what we were doing was looking after children that have people they care for at home. So young children who care for adults who are sick, maybe their mom or their dad, or and when they come from school, all they do is just go to school, come back home, start looking after their, adult person in their house. So they come to this center so that we can look after them and they can be kids. And they play, they eat, they do all sort of stuff. So that was really amazing. So they took me, they said, of course you can volunteer. And I said, oh wow, I was so happy. So I had put my daughter in crèche then. So I would, go drop my daughter off at the nursery and I'll go there to volunteer. While I was doing that, I was thinking of something to do long term. And one day I wore a dress because I love wearing dresses. I only recently started wearing jeans. You would never see me in a jeans. And I wore a dress and it just didn't fit the way that I wanted it to fit. And I remember my bed was like filled up with clothes that I had been trying. I think we were going for a friend of ours naming ceremony or baby dedication. I can't remember exactly what the event was, but and I needed to fit into a dress. So I bought different dresses from different brands. I was trying them as a new mom. You know how difficult that is to find something that fits during your postnatal period. And I tried so many clothes, and I just remember sitting on the bed and I just started crying, like literally wailing. I was like, I can't even find anything that fit. Oh, look at my shape, look at my, and I just started crying, and I literally wetted the clothes on the bed with my tears. And as I was crying, I felt like I had something just, you know, in my head just said, Ivy, you can create your own brand. Why don't you create your own brand? You've always wanted to be a fashion designer. You've always wanted to have your own pieces. Why don't you create your own brand for women that are also struggling like you to find something to wear after birth? And and then immediately I stopped crying and it just sunk in, and I was like, yes, I can actually do that. Then on a second thought, I said, how am I going to create my own brand? How am I going to market my own brand? How, like, who knows me? What do I have? I don't have anything. I don't even have money to put into marketing. And I'm going to be competing with brands such as, these big brands. And I was self destroying my ideas, which is another thing that I would like to mention, that most times we do not elevate. Most times we do not, transform ourselves. Most times we we are our own enemy, because we talk ourselves down. We say, oh no, you can't do it. What makes you think you're better than the other person who is already doing it? What makes you think? So I talked down on myself for probably 2 years and I didn't start my brand. But what I did do then was I went to I bought a form online and I went into London and I went to train, and I trained as an image consultant. So a stylist and an image consultant. So while I was doing this, I opened a studio in my house, nicely set up, and I created a website and I was receiving clients. So the idea that came to me of starting my own brand sort of went to the back burner because I had told myself, who are you to start your own fashion brand? Like, who do you think you are? And I said, okay, let me do, since back home I used to help people with their makeup, with what to wear and stuff like that. Let me just go brush that up. So I launched my website and I had put it on Google, and I run Google promotions, and people were actually booking me. So I was having consultations. People will come into my office then, and they'll come for color analysis, and they'll come for style analysis, and they'll come for makeup lessons and things like that. And I was really busy. I was getting booked. I was making a lot of money, up to the extent that I wasn't even thinking about the fashion brand anymore. Even though it's something there, I wrote it down, but I left it. So one day I had a client who came in, and she said, Ivy, and this also, I think one thing you should learn from my story is what is meant to happen will happen, no matter the delay, no matter how long it takes. If it's meant to happen, it is going to happen. And God, the way God works is He puts, when He sows an idea into you, and you are, sort of dismissing that ideas, He then puts people on your way to still help you achieve, that idea. So what happened was, one day this lady came, and after her consultation, she had a 1 hour 30 minutes consultation, and I think she was traveling. So she said, can you help me put together some of the things that I need to wear because I'm going on a business trip? So we did that. And then the moment she got up from my chair, she said, Ivy, I want to tell you something. I said, what is it? And she said, why don't you open a platform like a website where you can just, give us tips, because you're so good at what you do. You can give us tips on what to wear, us to pair our outfits with. Just give us some styling and beauty, tips on your website, so that we're not constantly messaging you and WhatsApping you to ask you questions. And I'm sure your other customers will like that too, because they will have somewhere to just refer to when they're a bit, confused and they don't know exactly what to wear. And she said it casually. And I said, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. I've actually not thought of that. So she left, and it sat with me. I remember that day in the evening, the next day, the day or the day after, like her voice just kept playing on my head constantly, constantly, constantly. So I went on Google, and I typed in blogs, how to start your own blog, and WordPress came up. So I created a WordPress account on my own, and I created, because WordPress, I don't know how it is now. Then it was very easy to use. And I created, I just created like the pages and stuff like that, styling tips, makeup tips, hotel tips, what to wear to a wedding, and stuff like that. And then within 3 weeks, I had already started creating content on the blog. So if you go there, you will see, oh, what to wear to a wedding, what hair color goes with this, what lipstick goes with that. So I just started, and I sent an email to my database of my clients, a newsletter from the website every week. So they would go there, and they would actually read, and they would comment and stuff. And that's how my brand just started from there. And within 2 years, I started getting contacted by brands. They say, oh, we love your blog. Would like to gift you something so that you can post and do a link, and link to our website, a do follow link to our website. And I started getting a lot of that, and people were saying, oh, would like an ad space on your blog. It wasn't a lot. Sometimes I charge 85 pounds as at then for an ad space. And then I started my Instagram page side by side. So my Instagram started growing because I will post on my blog, and then I'll say, head to my Instagram for more photos, or head to my Instagram for more styling tips. And if you had followed me, some people have followed me since then till now, you will see the way my Instagram has sort of changed a lot from then till now. So that was how it all started. Over the years, I think this was like a period of 4 years or so. And one day I saw a comment on my Instagram. I think then I had about as at this time I probably had about 25,000 followers or so. And I had a comment. The first comment that I ever noticed was someone saying, Ivy, you promote all these brands and we go buy from them. You have an amazing style. Why don't you start your own brand? And I read it, I liked it, and I didn't really think anything of it. And then I think a week after again, I saw another comment saying, Ivy, we would so buy your own collection. Why don't you start your own collection? And I said, wow. So as I was reading this, I just remembered the vision, the dream that that I had from the beginning to start my own brand. And I said, I think God is actually using these people to get me to a place where I still need to start my own brand. So in 2017, I registered Ivy Kong Fashion, and we had toiled with the name. Like, what name should you call the brand? Should we call it something totally different, not your name? A lot of friends said it's not going to work. Ivy, you're making a lot of money just doing your influencing. I think you should stick with that. Other people discouraged me. Other people said, oh, don't even bother. You're going to be competing with these big brands. You're just going to be a small fry. I remember a friend telling me, you're just going to be a small fry, where all these big brands are. Like, who is going to shop from you? And I remember another friend telling me, I like to wear pieces that are known. So don't be offended if I don't shop from you because you're not known, because I'm going to be shopping from your competitors who are known. Yes, a friend opened her mouth. A friend, she's no longer my friend now, but then she opened her mouth and she said that. So when you are ready to transform yourself, when you're ready to transform your life, just know that there will be people who you thought will support you that will not. Just know that there will be people who are going to discourage you. Also know that there will be people who are going to look at you and say, what the hell is she or he doing? Please go and rest. Who do you think you are? So you need to be able to identify those people, and your journey does not require them. Put them to one side. When whatever they say, take it and say, okay, no problem. You're not angry with them, you're not fighting with them, but this other phase that you're meant to go to, this other phase that you're meant to be in your journey, they are not supposed to come with you. And that's why they are showing you exactly who they are, so that you can know. Because if you take them with you, they as you're going forward, they will be dragging you back with their comments. They'll be dragging you back with their non-support. So just to cut the long story short, because I want to make this video as short as possible, I told my husband, I think for me, the only person that I needed to hear yes from was my husband. I told my husband, I said, babe, I told you about starting my own brand some years ago. I know I didn't really go into it because I was doubting myself if I can do it, but I think it's time. And he said, whatever you need, I'm going to support you. I know that you are a very industrious, entrepreneurial person. When I married you, I didn't think you were going to sit down and be working in an office for anybody. And this is what you're meant to do, and I know you will smash it. That was what he told me. He said, anything you want, I'm going to support you. I know you need some money to add to what you already have. I'm going to support you. And I was so happy to hear that. So we started looking for manufacturers. We made a lot of mistakes, wasted a lot of money. But at the end of the day, we are here. So Ivy Kong Fashion has been my brand since 2017, and it has flourished. Yes, has there been challenges? Yes, so many. Has there been times I was like, are you mad? What are you doing? Yes, but the success has definitely outweighed the challenges that we face. And I know, as any business, you face challenges and you continue to face challenges. You just, as you face, you reinvent yourself, and then you just constantly reinvent yourself as you go. So I am so happy that I did. And I think the confirmation for me was when a lady wore my dress. She said she was in Australia, because I really didn't know who was shopping. People were shopping from everywhere. And she when she wore the dress, she sent me an email and she said, Ivy, you don't even know what you've done with this. I just had a baby 3 months ago. I'm trying to fit in. I bought different dresses, trying to fit into a dress for my baby's dedication, and I couldn't find any dress. I literally told my husband, if I don't find a dress, you will go and dedicate my baby. I'm not going to go because I hate the way I look after childbirth. And she told me, she said, I got your dress. I saw your dress on Instagram. Someone was telling me how amazing it was. I looked at your website and I got this bandage dress, because then we started with a bandage dress and I made a formula of the bandage of where the bandage dress is made with Spanx. So there's a Spanx. So rather than wear a Spanx and then your dress, we made the Spanx into the fabric of the bandage dress. So when you wear the dress, you lose at least 3 inches off you at at once. So that was our high selling products, our bandage dresses. Now we have other dresses, we have other, we have satin, we have lace, we have different fabrics, but then we started with bandage fabric because I needed something that I could wear as well. For I think at this by this time I had my second daughter, and from your first to second, your body just keeps changing and changing. So when I read this woman's email, she was like, as I'm typing this email to you, I'm literally in tears because I tried your dress. I ordered it. It was with me in Australia in 7 days. And I tried it on and I was literally screaming. Like I told my husband, come, 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 come. And my husband looked at me and said, where is your stomach? Where is the baby tummy? Like it's gone. It's literally gone. So that just reaffirmed everything that has happened. Just me trying to fit into a dress how many years ago, and then having this notion, I wouldn't even call it notion, I would say word from God to start my own brand, and then now coming full circle of starting the brand how many years later, and having somebody in the exact same dilemma that I was in message me. It was just amazing. It was really just amazing. So over the years, I have been able to transform myself from a woman who didn't know what to do with her life, from a woman who had so much going on, to a woman who had nothing going on, who didn't know exactly what to do with her life, who had high anxiety, who had like everything, to be honest with you, to where I am today. And my journey is a huge success. It has been a huge success, and I know that one person watching this is definitely going to be encouraged. Now, to you, now that you've heard a little bit about me, we'll move this back to you because this is about you and how you should reinvent yourself. First of all, you're not in survival mode. Don't put yourself in a survival mode. And if you are already in a survival mode, get yourself out of there by tuning your mindset, tuning the way you think, tuning the way you see yourself. You need to get yourself out of that survival mode. Now that you're here, you're listening to the sound of my voice, you are going to transform your life from where you are, where you feel you need to constantly be in survival mode, to where God wants your life to be. And didn't the Bible say that God's plan for us is of good and not of evil? So God's wish for you is to be here. And that's where you're going to be if only you believe it and you have faith. You're not starting from scratch. You're starting from where you are already. And you just need to take a few steps forward to be able to get to where you need to be. First of all, in order to reinvent yourself, like I mentioned before, You need to cut off from certain people that you know are pulling you down. You know them, I don't know them. I don't know where you are in your life right now. I don't know if you've lost someone. I don't know if you've lost a job. I don't know if you're struggling financially. I don't know um exactly where you are. I don't know if you're looking for a job. I don't know if you're looking for friendship. I don't know what you're looking for. You alone knows that. But one thing I'm going to say is that in order to achieve any of this, you need to drop off the excess baggages that you're carrying around with you. Excess baggages in the form of laziness, excess baggages in the form of friendships, excess baggages in the form of talking yourself down, excess baggages in the form of you not affirming what you want. Excess, there are so many excess baggages that you're carrying around. Get it off, shake it off yourself so that you can start afresh. This is a new year. You have how many more days and months in 2024? It's still a lot, and a lot can change overnight. You can be somewhere today, you wake up tomorrow and you're in a better place. It happens, it has happened, it will happen for you if that is what you want. First thing that you want to do is take a pause. Take a pause. Just pause for 1 minute. Are you going around with your thoughts? Are you, trying to make ends meet with your thoughts? Are you just all over the place? Take a breather. Take a pause. That's the first thing that you need to do. Take a whole day, one whole day to take a break, one whole day to take a pause. And what I want you to do for me is when you take that pause for that one day, use it as a day of meditation. Take a paper, take a pen, put it down, and literally as you're meditating, put down what your thoughts are. Okay, for example, I need a new job. I'm not happy with my current job. I'm not happy with the pay. I'm not happy with how stressful it is. This year, one of the things I want to do is to have a new job. Okay, write that down, you know, and say, what sort of job am I looking for? Write it down. What do I need to do to get to that type of job that I'm looking for? Do I need to take an extra online course? Do I need a mentor? Do I need to, reinvent myself in one way or the other? Write that down. That day for you should be a day of writing down, a day of meditation, a day of thinking of where you want to be, manifesting it. So when you're thinking, I want you to not be thinking of your current problem. Of that day, don't think of your current problem. Let it, or just like blot it up your off your head as if you don't have any problem. That day should be a day for you to meditate and visualize where you want to be. So when you're thinking, it should be where you want to be. Do you want to be on a private jet? That day, think of yourself. I'm walking, I have my trainers on, I have my jeans on, I have my jacket on, I have my designer bag on. The pilot is just opening the door for me. I'm just entering into my private jet. As I enter my private jet, I have a drink. There's a champagne waiting for me, the bowl of fruits on the plate for me. I'm sitting down right now. I'm looking out of the window. That is what I want you to do. Manifest it as if it has already happened. Thirdly, reevaluate. So reevaluate everything where the things that you've done that have put you where you are now in a place that you do not like. Reevaluate that thing so that you're not making the same mistake that you've been making for years. So the reason why you should reevaluate is when you make the same mistake, when you don't reevaluate, you keep making the same mistake that you've been making, and you cannot leave level A to B if you keep doing what you were doing in level A. So reevaluation is very, very important. Reevaluate your life, reevaluate things. I always write down. I have a book. I write every single thing down. And if you're looking for something to write down on, I'm going to put a link below. Go to my website, iveconfashion.com, buy this book of thoughts. I created that book of thoughts because it helps me. I put everything down in my book of thoughts. Go there, it's not expensive. Spend a couple of quid, buy it, and start writing. Write your thoughts down. Write down the things you were doing that are stale. Write down the things you no longer want to do. Opportunities is not going to find you. You need to go look for them. Yes, as you're doing that, you're going to have clarity. Okay. And clarity is what happened to me years ago. Even though I didn't sit on it, as I was crying, I had clarity of what to do. So you're going to have clarity of what to do. Make sure that you actually work on those clarities that have been given to you. One thing I have learned about meditation is that when you meditate, you get all the answers that you want. Everything just comes to you, even for an hour. So I now practice meditation frequently, because as you meditate, you just block out your heart. You feel like you're the only one in this world, and everything just comes to you. So when you meditate and you get that notion of what you can do to help your situation, don't let that notion go. Make sure you actually act on it. Then friends. Yes, there is a point that I was in my life where I just felt that some friends that I had were not supportive. Some friends that I had, I couldn't share good news with them. I couldn't share things that I was doing, that things that were I was doing with them, because they'll either tone it down, or they'll say, "Oh, it's not even going to work." Oh, yeah, da, 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 da. People put their perception of themselves on other people. So there are people that put their perception of themselves when they feel, "Oh, I can't achieve this. This is too much. I'm so small in this circumference. Who am I?" Then when you come to them and you say what you want to do, they put that in you, and then you start thinking, okay, maybe this is not for me. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe. So you need to stay away from friends like that. Friends who don't push you, friends who don't say, "Oh, really? You want to do that? I know you can do it. Amazing. Anything you need from me, I'm there." Even though it's just to call, even though it's just to talk, even though it's just to encourage you, I am there. Like, I don't need any money from any friend. I don't need anything from any friend. All I need is when I pick up the phone, you're there on the other line. And same goes for me as well, for my friends. So sometimes you have to sort of cut some friends off. There are some, especially where I am now, the level of growth that I've achieved now, and the amount of doors that are opening for me now, not just in my business, in my creating side of things as well, in my personal branding as well. There are friends that I can't just take them out with me. I can't, because when they go out with you, it's like it's a competition. Like, you're not competing with me, and I'm not competing with you. So if you have friends that are always in competition with you, then you need to ask yourself, what are you doing with those sort of friendship? Are you okay being in those sort of friendship? If you have friends that don't build you up, that constantly tell you, "Oh, you can't do it. You're dreaming too much. Oh, you better bring your dream down. You better come down to the normal level." No. What is the normal level? So a lot of people will tell you that out of their own ignorance. Those sort of friends, you need to find a place for them in your life. Maybe they can be jolly jolly good friends, but not the ones that you tell things that you want to do, not the ones that you tell, or you expect support from, because you know that you're not going to get it. So in order to reinvent yourself, you need to be ready to shake off a lot of the baggage, excess baggage, I will call them, that you're carrying. And if that also includes losing weight, then go and lose the weight. If that also includes, you know, um, um, doing your hair in a certain kind of way, go and do your hair in a certain kind of way. If that also includes staying away from certain people, even though they are just not friends, they are your family, stay away from them for some time, or the time that you need to. If that also includes to stop faking it until you make it, stop faking it and actually work to start making it, rather than faking it till you make it. If that also includes, you to actually do the work, do the mental work, getting a therapist and doing the work, go and get a therapist and do the work. And finally, I'm going to leave you with this. In order to reinvent yourself, there are sacrifices that you need to make. If you say, I want to reinvent myself, let me lie down and sleep. When I wake up tomorrow, I'll be reinvented. Sorry. Sorry, that's not going to happen. In order to reinvent yourself, you need to be ready to make sacrifices. Some of the sacrifices will not be favorable to you. It will not be your safe space. It will not be your safe place. It will not be, your jolly, jolly party. No. Some of the sacrifices needs to be made in order for you to leave your, the space A that you're in, to and just move up, in life, and to get to the place that you want to be. Finally, I'm going to leave you guys with this thought. And the thought is, do it for the plot twist. Yes. Do it for the plot twist. Bye, my darlings. I will see you in my next video. As usual, let me know some of your goals in the comment. Tag your friends, anybody that you think needs to hear this, anybody that you think needs this motivation. Tag them in the comment below. Let me know, just let's chat. Let's have a chat in the comment below. And of course, subscribe, like, and share. And if you're not following me on Instagram, I've popped the link there again. Go and give me a follow on Instagram. That is where it happens every single day. And I'll see you in my next video. Stay blessed. Bye.